Good evening, my friends. It is 9:45 p.m., July the 5th, Friday, 2024. Post Happy Independence Day to our friends in the South. Hope you guys had a safe holiday there, July 4th. Here in Canada, it was a pretty okay day, or day and evening. Very mellow, no violence, no incidents as I saw in my encounters. I hope it was okay down south of the border from us. Everybody in Canada and in the United States did have a very safe holiday. Although I'm not willing to admit that probably some more than a few incidents that did occur. Anyway, don't mind me, I'm kind of burned out. I've been cycling all in this heat wave the past few days, collecting cans and bottles, and cash them on my bike fast as I can, grabbing a bunch of cans, racing to the beer store fast as I can, cash them, race out to another section, grab a few, go out and race to the beer store and cash them. I really don't believe in bringing them home unless I have to, and not that many. And if I do, you got to seal them, rinse them out, and so forth, so it doesn't create a stench in the apartment. And even so, don't keep them longer than 24 hours anyway, and keep them in a sealed bag or something at least, which I do. And yeah, been busy, kind of burned out and so forth. And learn the ropes about how many people really are collecting cans and bottles now in these hard times in Canada anyway. And here in the nation's capital, it's getting worse. There's more and more people doing that. Anyways, besides that, let's get to the brunt of the whole issue I want to talk about. Like the racism that Indigenous people seem to face is escalating 10 times worse. Like, in my experience, I've been called an Indigenous whore, an Indigenous C word, Indigenous or Native drunk, as the common term is more called for people like us. I noticed that, which is weird. Indigenous or Indigenous C is one thing, and then when it comes to drinking too much, they call people the Native D word, Native drunk, not Indigenous drunk, which is kind of unusual. Why not Indigenous drunk? Native drunk, Indigenous, other words, and so forth. Anyways, I'm getting tired. I'm just talking about the racism we're facing and so forth. Like, it's kind of interesting why they call us that. Like, just insulting, and it's our land. And no offense, but there are a lot of people who are immigrants. There's a lot of good ones. There are plenty of cool ones who help me out, and they're really cool. And cheers to them. I'm only on my second beer right now, all night. And then people say I'm a native drunk for drinking 2, 3, 4 beers. In the past, I did have drinking problems, hanging with bad people who drink 10 times worse than me, who are not native. So those bad issues come from bad other people. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. And I'd rather flock by myself and take care of myself, cycle more, which I haven't cycled like this in a long time, which is awesome. The best thing for Indigenous women, though, there's violence against Indigenous women too, especially. The murder and missing women's issue is still at its height. And people don't realize how much violence and racism, which leads to violence, is on the rise as well. Like, what starts out as bullying and racism and harassment and threats will and ultimately escalate to violence, as it has in my case. It took years of bullying, years of racism, years of harassment before an actual severe assault against me, threat against me. And an assault from somebody else, which I have no record of, I have no memory of until she admitted that way a year after. So anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I'm not sure since COVID, it's because of understaffed issues. Thing is, we're not taken seriously. Indigenous people are not taken seriously, especially Indigenous women. And that is the problem. Like, you don't hear the term, like native drunk, you don't hear the term, like another color or something like that. You don't hear a term of them and adding the word drunk to it for the other people, which is kind of, you just have to do the math. You just got to think about that really. And that is nothing to really be aware of about the racism against Indigenous people. That's the thing. Like, I was going to go out and collect cans again today, but I'm kind of really tired. The weather is plus 32. And my burnout is still kind of lingering on a little bit here and there. So I don't have much pep as I did before the heat wave that hit. So I was going to go out, but I decided not to. So I dressed up anyway to celebrate Independence Day. Well, post-Independence Day. My pants here have the American flag, as you see. Yeah, American Eagle pants with American flag. To let people know that I'm aware of Independence Day, which occurred yesterday, actually. I was working really hard collecting cans yesterday, though. And I was going to go out and wear these jeans to celebrate that. As you can see, I have my earrings on, I have makeup on. And the time right now is almost 10 o'clock. And just to go down and celebrate, but there's so much violence going on downtown as well. There's a crowd down in the downtown bridge area near the Reader Center. And one of them is a big bully, has threatened me, and she claims she is of a certain color, not native, but further up north. But I don't care what color you are. You're black, you're white, you're native, you're Inuit. You have no right to inflict violence against other people, no matter what the skin color. For one thing, violence should not be inflicted on anyone. And I don't care what your color is. She has the right to bully me and inflict violence upon me and claim she's from the north and she has the right to do that. No one has the right to inflict violence and so forth. That's another thing too. Doesn't matter. Violence should not be inflicted upon anybody. Me as a YouTuber had experienced it very severely. There's another YouTuber in Toronto who experienced twice now so far. I know one from a couple years ago down on Blur and Bathurst video, and I still have that, when someone was following him creepily and kind of hit him downstairs in the subway there. I still remember that. I know that video off by heart, but I'm aware that he was also assaulted again. Now, I don't know what video that was. I haven't been watching his videos very exclusively lately. Actually, nobody's lately. I've been going through my own things and improving things. Cycling, mainly. Cycling's my main obsession now. And that's the main thing. Drinking's come down to a big, low crawl. And I did have a problem before drinking, but I had to stop because of the seizures I've been having due to overdrinking. Like, ever since I broke up with the ex-boyfriend who drank from morning to night, no more seizures. I cut down slowly. Not one seizure since I broke up with the guy. Cheers to me. Actions speak louder than words. And the fact that I have no more seizures is a great big applaud for me. Being with him, he drinks too much. The psychological abuse and so forth, anyways, blah, blah, blah. That's over. So that stress factor is out of the picture. And I haven't had one seizure since I broke up with him, which is good. Make which for the strength of independent people like myself. And hopefully you guys can stay strong. Let's stay strong, Indigenous people. Let's group together on Facebook posts, YouTube, and so forth. Especially Indigenous ladies, and any fact of all. Nobody deserves any discrimination, violence, racism, or anything against us, no matter what color we are. We all have a soul, but racism unfortunately does exist more for Indigenous people, more and more and more. And the gay community really has a problem with that. I met two wonderful gentlemen about a month ago, and they were telling me about the experiences with bullying and so forth. When I'm recycling cans before, the beer store was proudly promoting programs to help them in these cases for people recycling bottles. Right now, recycling bottles is mainly for blood cancers and so forth, but that's good. The beer store do promote these things at certain times when we recycle cans and bottles for them in Ontario anyway, which is cool. And they're beginning to know me at all beer stores as I go everywhere collecting them. And I have to admit, they must be impressed by me and my stamina and my strength. I bring all these heavy bottles and cans by myself with my bike into their establishments to help recycle and to help support myself as well in these hard financial times. So yeah, so racism really is a big thing, and like a kind of like a plant, it starts at a small level of simple remarks of racism, to teasing. You hear a remark here and there when you walk away, to whispers or remarks, which eventually becomes to outright, like direct verbal threats toward you, verbal attacks toward you, harassment, and then eventually threats, which ultimately will lead to violence. And that happened to me. And we cannot have that happen. You have to promote, talk to MP. I tried everything to talk to I don't know how many times I had to talk to security and police about these things before my assault happened. So yeah, we have to try to do more, try to prevent these things. There needs to be more training for authorities, for security, for neighbors about these kind of things and the facts. How violence against Indigenous people start as a small seed and can grow into a very severe case of assault or violence or even murder. So yeah, we have to work on the issues of how it starts. Sometimes out of the blue, someone just attack you out of the blue. But in my case, living in your own place, when it starts to exceed and grows, nothing's done about it, that is another thing that we have to work on. So yeah, it's just ridiculous, you know. Like there's a lot of people in this building in the area, including the staff members. One staff member here who works with the building here, who are very racist, I must admit, obviously. Very sad to say. I can't talk to him. He talks to everyone else, but I don't want to even talk to him. He bullies me too. Getting coffee and saying, don't steal the milk. That's kind of racist right there. I don't appreciate that. I don't want to even talk to him at all. I was angry. When he did that during a meeting, before a meeting started, I was angry. It's like, I had to bite my lip to really tell him off. Anyways, that's another story, another matter. But he's a bully too and a racist, obviously. But yeah, things are quiet right now in the building, and I think it is probably dangerous to go out by myself. Like I'm all dressed up and everything, all that. You know, I haven't gone out for a long time. Like the American flag shorts for Independence Day and so forth. Like pretty good. But This would have been a nice outfit for Independence Day yesterday, but I was down collecting cans and so forth. And the whole week since Sunday, I made about $46 for about I make $50 a week, but this week I'm just burned out. The heat's really bad, and I'm still kind of burned out. I made less than that this week. And I'm not working today. I'm not working tomorrow. I'm not going to cycle and collect cans tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. Or my tax check's supposed to come in on Monday. So I'm going to have to spend something more protein focused for my cycling. I'm still trying to gain weight. I was complimented by somebody that had more upper weight gain than my lower weight gain, which is kind of ironic because I'm cycling, and she said, "You gain more weight in your upper body than your lower body." She said, "I'm gaining more weight. I'm gaining more muscle here, maybe." And I am on low gear. And my brakes, my bike is starting to. So I'm going to have to invest in getting new brakes and getting a good tune-up. I'm not looking for a job in warehouse at all right now. But my endurance is getting bigger, my strength is getting stronger. And yeah, it's a quiet night tonight. There's no signs of bullying and people, there's no disturbances out tonight so far, which is good. And yeah, troublemakers are quiet, which is good. Oh no, spoke too soon. And so it begins. But yeah, I'm just burned out from the past for the weather about 2 weeks ago. I had a ton of power, cycle all day. And 2 nights ago, I did cycle from about 12:30, and I came home at 11 p.m. at night. Maybe that's why I'm exhausted a bit too. I need to take it easy. And yeah, take it one step at a time. As for the racism and escalating violence against Indigenous people, women, and so forth, we have to band together. Maybe we need a support group or something. There's some telephone lines as well. You can check online. In your region, you can check it out. But also there are obstacles in the way, of course, to access those services too. So another option for that is to go for a local church, because churches have support groups as well. It's up to you. Some people don't fancy that because it's too religious and so forth, and too, I don't know, some people have mixed feelings about that, but it depends up to you. And yeah, that's the thing. It's up to you what you feel comfortable with. If you want one-on-one support, you can get one-on-one support. And if you want to talk to someone on the phone, you can talk to someone on the phone. If you want to talk to someone via text, you can talk to someone via text. But I'm sure if you check out your local 301 or 201, is it? Check that out in Ontario anyway. In the States, I have no idea what kind of situations or places you can go to for help for Native Americans down there. Because Native Americans must go through a lot of racism too. Native Americans are friends in the South. I know racism is on the rise, both in Canada and in the States. All Natives everywhere. So we got to band together, and if we can really focus to stop the racism against these people and all these bullies. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together and tend to make us look bad and gang up against us in some situations, in my case. So yeah, we got to band together and help each other in the community. I have a lot of friends in the community too as well. I have a friend who knows me through YouTube. Thank you for the barbecue invite, my friend, but I couldn't make it. I was too burned out and not feeling that great. I was just too burned out from collecting cans and so forth. And it's good to know friends in the, my friend in the market who has his own jewelry business down the tables. It's good to see you and get a good hug from you too. And it's good to see my other friends too, and haven't seen for a while, over a year since the winter. Good to see you too. You're back. You were down another little town there, I heard. But it's good to see you and get hugs from you all. So make rich, my friends. That's a really good thing. I'm not sure what everyone's doing tonight for this Friday night. It's really muggy out there. Right now it's 10 o'clock, past 10 p.m. at night. So I'm not sure what to do. Just want to say it's quiet now. I hear the neighbors blah, blah, blahing away and everything, all that. As for anyone who talks to troublemaker who started the whole thing against me with lies and defamation and so forth, and like a little virus seed spreading through the whole building, well, that's got to stop. The drugs have got to stop and everything, all that here in this building. Like racism can stem from, oh God, I could go on forever all night about that. What should I say about that? Let me make a case of my point, in my experience. Like, I was born Indigenous, 100%, but I'm also part of 60 Scoop. Oh, here we go. The neighbors are blah, blah, blah. The one who caused me trouble is going out there, causing trouble, doing the drugs, causing trouble. But anyways, now the trouble begins. Of course. So predictable, huh? But anyways, I was saying, 100% Indigenous, not 50%, not 75%, but 100%. And as I was mentioning, I'm part of 60 Scoop. 60 Scoop basically is when Indigenous children are taken away from their families, hence 60 Scoop, scoop away, scoop, you know how you scoop things away? We get scooped away from our families and basically taken up for adoption by another family. Now, 60 Scoop can range anywhere from all over Canada to as far as all the way to UK, all the way to Australia. There are cases of people who are Indigenous born in Canada who have been scooped away far away internationally across the sea. Now, there can be many ways people can be adopted or scooped away and so forth to other families. In some cases, there are ads in papers to adopt, back then, an Indian baby. Now the term is Indigenous. Saying Indian now is very racist now and very insulting. And the French people, unfortunately, still say Indian and everything because the French, their English is not too good. So we'll give them exception for now, I guess. But anyways, yeah. Some people have ads in papers back then to be adopted or, so forth. I have no idea how I was scooped away from my family. I don't know my family. The only thing I know is that I have two brothers and a sister, or two sisters and a brother. One of the two, I forgot. And I know where I come from, which is not too far away, to be honest. I met many people in my Indigenous community who probably know, and we all gather together in different Indigenous cultures, Indigenous communities as well, powwows and so forth. So the thing is, connect with powwows, connect with your Indigenous community, wherever you are. If it's a scoop, residential victim or whatever, or victims of racism and so forth, Indigenous community centers and so forth can help you, and so forth, with cases such as this. So yeah. What people don't understand is the trauma that Indigenous people have endured. But residential schooling survivors have it bad. Scoop survivors, yeah. And the fact that all these children have been found is not a good thing either as well. It's a terrifying prospect to have that happen. an act of genocide. And it's just terrible. That is why when people bully people of traumatic past, whether it be Redstone schools, Scoop, or whatever, when people bully and harass and assault people of such issues, it makes it 10 times worse for the person to recover from that. Addictions happen. I drank heavily. I don't drink too much anymore. I can't anyway, because I was getting multiple seizures due to the stresses and everything, losing all that weight from the serious assault from the neighbor down the hall. And then in the hall out there was just laughing now. She thinks it's bloody funny. Drugs, crack, violence against me and defaming my good name. Telling everybody that I'm, anyways, that'll be dealt with anyway. I understand she has a past, that's trouble too, and she has violence too. But she has no right to damn well harass and defame my name and make racist remarks toward me. She wasn't scooped away by her family. She has a family at least. She's lucky she has a family. So she better shut her little pink lips or red lips, or whatever lips she likes to wear, whatever. It's being humorous a little bit, but whatever. But yeah. I know a lot of us react in different ways when it comes to racism and discrimination and violence against us. Some people lash out. I did a couple times and I get mad. When I'm cycling, people cut in front of me and all that, I'm swearing, calling idiots and waving my hand around and everything, all that. Ugh. There's a few of them today too as well, actually, when I was cycling. Ugh. Well, I was yelling and I was like cursing, like, oh God, these idiots in the street. Anyways, that's another story. Never mind. Yeah. So my Native American friends and my friends here, my British friends here in Canada, we have to band together against discrimination, racism, and harassment and bullying, which can escalate to violence against us. And even, just walking down the street minding our business, a stranger come up to us and give us a racist name. When I was going to church, no matter where I go to, some person routinely came up to me and gave me the finger and called me an Indigenous whore, came back around again and called me Indigenous C word, and then screamed Black Power and was yelling at me in front of a witness. That's the most extreme taste of racism with another person of color, which is complicated. No provocation at all. That guy was a bad guy. That was a bad guy. And that same guy came at me again, and then I was walking to church and he yelled at me again, and I was shaking, trying to get in. So the security was called, and they said, "Do you want the police involved?" And I was like, did it stupidly in front of the camera. If he does it again, then we'll get the police involved. Ever since then, I guess security nipped it in the bud, and we never seen him again, which is good. He did stupidly in front of the camera, too, the idiot. But we never seen him again. Even though they asked me, "Do you want the police involved, Lisa?" I'm like, well, security got it. The camera's right there. If he insists and has the balls to try it again, then we'll get the police involved. But he never came back, so that's a good thing. And the important to protect each other, even among, and that's how it's going on with the neighbors here. They all bully and they all harass you. And just when I was doing the stream, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. They can mock you, they can make fun of you, they bully you, but check out your local community centers and so forth. We have to do a YouTube stream and talk about it. And you don't have to do it publicly. You can do it privately to give to a police member or a legal member or your lawyer or whatever. It's another option as well. So yeah, that's about it. Make much, take care, have a good night, and hope everyone had a safe Canada Day, and hope everyone had a safe Independence Day. I'm just going to show my outfit for the friends in the South one more time. Yeah. So my friends in the South, hope you guys had a nice, safe July 4th Independence Day. Make which Native Americans down in the South, you guys had a safe time. Everyone safe. Take care. Stay safe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care, my friends. Cheers.